Hello everyone and welcome to Thursday Live Lessons here on Ukulele on the Ground. My name is Aldrine Guerrero. I'm joined by Mr. Aaron, the voice Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron?
What's up?
And Mr. Kahai, the legend Fergan. Say what's up, Kahai?
What's up?
And special guest, monthly special guest, we have Mike. Odo. Magic Mike. I was like, I went with Mike first. I was supposed to say Magic. Magic Mike Odo. What's up, Mike?
What's up, guys?
So today is a very, very, very special episode of Thursday Live Lessons. We're gonna be talking about ukulele. We got, do we have a question lined up, Kahai?
Yeah.
All right. So we have a question lined up. We have our songs that are due that we wrote. We have a songwriting challenge that's due today, and also we have another challenge, and this is just for all of you UU Plus subscribers who are watching us on video. We have put together 4 pretty hot sauces, and we got some chicken that we're gonna put some hot sauces in. If you guys have never seen the hot ones, what is that? Is it just
like
the
a
show?
YouTube
Yeah,
show?
the show The Hot Ones. It's by First We Feast. Aaron bought the hottest sauce that they have called the Last Dab. And I was very, very, very interested in trying it. We're like, you know what? Why don't we try it on the stream? Have everybody try it. So we got we got these
that
hot
way,
sauces.
if we all keel over and die, someone will see us and call 911.
And we have ice cream. We have Pepsi AC. We have all kinds of Tums. You brought something, right?
Kaopectate.
Yeah, so we're prepared. I bought some Spam musubis, just in case you guys need something else to like wash it down with. I bought Spam musubis. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm excited. You excited?
I'm excited in that way, like someone before they go skydiving.
Kahai said he had a funny feeling in his stomach. Kahai, tell us more about that.
Fear, I guess.
All right, in the Scoville, in the show, they say it's like over 2 million
It's
points
like
in the Scoville.
2 million. Something.
Yeah, Scoville scale. So we are very excited. I'm excited and scared. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am scared out of my pants, but I'm also excited. So let's go. Let's talk about some uke. So we got the way that we do things here at Thursday Live Lessons is we answer any and all of the questions that come to us, via email, via the messaging system we have on Ukulele Underground, or if you guys see us across the street, kind of like, hey, Mike, what's the square root of 4?
It's 2.
Quick thinking. See, they say musicians make good mathematicians, right?
Yeah, but that's only just 4. By the way, the question you're all wondering right now, why are we doing this? We have no idea.
It's for fun, for you.
We start talking.
That's why.
We start talking, and then we just do things.
Yeah, we're like, we'll just do it in the show. All right, so Kahai, lay it on us. What's our question?
The last time we had a live lesson, we were talking about woods and talking about you mentioned that you actually think that you don't think that koa is like the best wood for instruments.
Yeah.
And so Jonathan saw that and he wanted to ask what is your preference for toned wood or for wood for an instrument?
Easy questions. Like straight up Sitka spruce, like the best sounding top wood that I've heard on on an ukulele. I mean they have other kinds of spruce, but I like Sitka the best. I mean people have they're like bear claw spruce. There's
the real popular one is
Adirondack.
That one too, but Engelmann from Europe is real popular.
Yeah. But Sitka, I love Sitka's. It's got a nice brightness to it, but it's not too bright if you mix it with some rosewood. So my favorite combination is Sitka spruce with some rosewood back and sides, and if you can get it, Brazilian rosewood, because why not, man? Why not? You got
it's
it.
not, yeah.
Now if you
it's not like
you find a supplier of
Yeah.
that.
So
not like it's easy to get now anyway.
No, you need to carry a license and stuff.
No, actually, Brazilian rosewood is different than even that.
Yeah.
Brazilian rosewood has been, what's the word for it? I guess, because a lot of companies use that for fingerboards and back and sides way back in the day, and in 1970, Brazil stopped all exporting. So actually, if you guys get an ukulele or a guitar, anything with Brazilian rosewood, that is a supply that was purchased prior to 1970.
Oh.
You can't. I think it's still that way where you can't buy any. Brazil will not export any. Now, you could go down to Brazil and buy stuff made out of it there, but then getting it back into the United States would actually be relatively difficult.
But I mean, just rarity's sake, it is a good, like rosewood, but like a nice like Indian rosewood also works, works pretty good and stuff. I like the look of Brazilian rosewood. It's just got those nice like reddish, like orangey brown kind of tones and stuff. It really is beautiful. But because it's so it's so rare now, like you can totally just get like an Indian rosewood and sound similar.
Well, Indian rosewood too. The interesting thing about Indian rosewood is that for a long time before. For those of you who don't know, the United States recently had this treaty called CITES, which makes it real difficult to move certain woods in and out of the United States without proper documentation. They were trying to stop people from just basically poaching wood from everywhere and bringing it in. One of the mistakes that I think they made is that they made rosewood in general one of those woods without necessarily clarifying which breed of rosewood. Yeah. So for them, Brazilian and Indian rosewood, which have incredibly different rarities, are the same wood. Yeah. So with Indian rosewood, there's a ton of it. So that's why you can use it for so long, because
it's more supply.
What they use the rosewood trees for in India is tea, since you love tea so much.
I guess. Yeah. I do.
Tea bushes need shade to grow. And so what they would do is they'd plant the bushes and they'd plant a rosewood tree every so far, and that as they would grow together, the rosewood tree would provide the shade for the tea bushes so they could grow. So there was always tons of it, and when they would, but you can't have a fully grown tree and plant small bushes. Yeah. So when they would clear out the tea bushes at harvest, they would also cut down all the trees. And start again. So there was always like a huge supply of it because tea is an enormous farming business in India.
Yeah, especially in India. Yeah, it's it has similar tone to Brazilian rosewood. So some people, with the naked ear can't even hear the difference. So if you don't want to go that route of like rare woods and stuff, Indian rosewood is a good alternative. What other rosewoods are available?
Honduran.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Honduras actually has a pretty good. Yeah. Those are probably the three biggest ones, I would say. The only thing, if you have a rosewood anything, and yes, this also applies if you have any sort of other protected wood. When you buy your ukuleles, guitars, whatever you're gonna get, but ukuleles because we're here. Make sure that the maker actually has documentation about where he or she got their wood,
because you can get it taken away.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to Joe Souza, because Joe Souza is supposed to build me. I mean, I already have it like on the side and stuff. He just needs to build it. So he put aside some Brazilian rosewood, for me, and we were gonna, he was gonna make an ukulele out of it. And he's like, okay, well, I have the documentations that you have to kind of keep at all times with this ukulele, so just in case you get stopped at like at the
TSA or something.
Yeah, exactly. TSA. It's like you can show them that like, oh, here's whatever. I mean, I don't know how often TSA is looking at like instruments and the validity of like that.
Well,
stuff.
Now here's the thing. The CITES treaty only works when you're going in and out of the country. So as long as you never take that thing out of the United States, you're probably not a problem.
Thank goodness I don't do international shows.
Well, you do that. You take that one. So, yeah, I mean that's the only thing. It's more international. If you're traveling between states, they won't really check. The main problem people are having with it is that they're relying on the TSA to be able to judge between different species of birds. Which
I had a brother-in-law that was a TSA. I told him right down.
He would not be able to.
Well, and that's the problem.
Yeah. Because obviously, this is from Honduras.
You can tell.
Well, here's a thing you want to think about. And this is a big thing for ukuleles, not something that would get you in trouble, but think about how many times we take a look at an acacia ukulele and people mistake it for a koa ukulele. So neither of those are the protected woods, although koa it'll be on that list a little bit stricter, but it's still not protected under this act. But think about how often people mistake one for one, unless you really know what those woods look like, the grain patterns. You could have a solid acacia ukulele.
And to the untrained eye,
you probably think it's solid. Look at the Kala one. The Kala solid acacia. When people call that up on when they come into my store,
Mhm.
they call that up all the time and are like, oh, this is, it's a different name, but it's koa, right? And I'm like, no. It's and you gotta explain it's like a sister wood,
Right.
same breed of tree, but it's still a different kind of tree.
Yeah, it
So
tastes
you-
like Coke.
Yeah.
But RC Cola is.
Hey, I drank a lot of RC Cola when I was a kid.
Yeah, nothing wrong with RC Cola. Nothing wrong with with that wood.
Yeah. But the thing,
have to be cool.
but then that's the problem
Mhm.
in that unless you really are kind of a wood expert,
Mhm.
or have at least undergone some kind of training to understand what it is. If you just have like pictures and you're like,
Yeah.
looks like that, you can get in a lot of trouble. There have been a lot of people who've had instruments seized
Yeah.
coming in and out of the United States. That was completely legal and everything like that, but because it looked too much like another one,
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of trouble
They
over
get
it.
into like politicized and stuff. So yeah, he just made sure that like if there's any kind of trouble, because he knows I travel internationally and stuff. He's like, if there's any trouble, just like show him these papers. So he showed me the papers. He showed me the thing. He just needs to build that uke.
Is it,
Hot
is
damn.
it going to be solid Brazilian all the way?
Yeah, well, back and sides and stuff.
And
So that's one thing too. Like the Brazilian rosewood is not for the top. It's definitely a hardwood, and you want hardwoods to be on the back and side so that it kind of uses it to resonate the top wood. Okay,
Right.
so the top wood being Sitka, like I mentioned, Sitka is this nice softer wood. It has a nice like tonal value to it, and when you pair that up with Brazilian rosewood, it's really really nice.
Right.
But our approach for this ukulele that I'm building with the Brazilian is the Sitka is going to be sunburst,
Okay.
and like I guess taking the whatever like paint or whatever that lacquer or that finish is that Taylor does to do their sunburst.
Oh, the
Like,
UV. It's a UV finish.
yeah, he's working with he's working with Taylor too, because Kanile'a is like UV finish. So he's working with Taylor to figure it out, and that's going to be like the first prototype of a sunburst uke. But I guess there's like some kind of laws that don't allow the travel of like that like a jar of it or whatever.
whatever
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Well,
like,
a lot
yeah.
of finishes like that fall under VOC law, volatile organic compound
Yeah, so
laws.
that's like one of the biggest hurdles right now that I have to kind of go over in order to get this nice, very first ever Kanile'a sunburst. So this is an insider.
Keep
like,
looking.
Yeah. So and I don't know if I've ever told this in public, but yeah, that's kind of what our plan is. The next Aldrine model is going to be a sunburst ukulele, Sitka. And rosewood. It's probably not going to be Brazilian, but rosewood back inside. It's going to be the next Aldrine model. It's been that plan for like a good 3-4 years, maybe even 5, and so it's been a long time. But every single part of this process, like we've kind of been meticulously planning out and trying to figure out the best way to do it. And since Taylor does the UV finishing, whatever that finish is that that works for them
Right.
is going to be the best for what works with a Kanile'a. So he's really waiting for that and doesn't want to just go with whatever whatever finish that.
Being that we used to be Taylor dealers, we did get a little bit in depth on that. The thing with the UV finish is, the good part about it is it cures incredibly quick. Because with the old finishes, it would be like a couple weeks
Right.
in the finishing
And there's like
process.
15 coats of it.
Yeah.
So,
With this one, it's like one coat, throw it in the UV room,
And
12 hours
okay.
later,
Yeah.
you're good.
Well,
you're
I
good to
mean,
go.
Kanile'a does use
Yeah.
a UV finish, but there's a specific one for sunburst. You're saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
They're like, well, because he had asked Taylor about like what finishes they use and stuff, and Taylor's like, oh, it's this or whatever, you can get it at this. But then like when he tried to bring it back, like he had a hard time.
Oh.
There's a lot of things that they don't want either, especially if you're flying.
Mhm.
That I know. If you're like air shipping stuff,
Yeah.
there's a lot of those chemicals they won't do.
Yeah. So that's kind of where the problem is right now. It's kind of stuck in that phase where like, okay, and he doesn't want to do it on the Brazilian rosewood like right off the bat, like he's gonna try it on different ones first.
Right.
So we haven't even gotten like the test ones,
Prototype.
the prototype ones, and then we'll do it on the Sitka. Because like the Sitka that I chose from the Kanile'a collection, man, the grains on that thing like per inch, It's ridiculous. I'm so excited for that uke, but right now it's just slabs of wood. Like we haven't really done anything with it yet, but we know exactly what's what's gonna happen. Another fun fact. This is another insider information. And not just Kanile'a, but Joe. He used to work for Lanikai. Yeah. And he used to build like slotted headstocks for Lanikai, and he said he remembered like a bunch of the crowns that they used to make, for not just for Lanikai but other the custom instruments that he's built, and he wants to like see if he can go back to like a retro like crown style on the next slotted headstock that I have, because the slotted headstock that I have is that like flat Martin style headstock that I use. But so we're gonna see if we can come up with some designs for a nice crown.
Nice.
But who knows if it's gonna be another 4 years? Like I'm saying it right now. Maybe it'll get Joe to be like, oh, well, Aldrine said it, so now it's gotta get done.
If you're gonna order a custom from Kanile'a, tell them I want sunburst, and then he'll have to figure it out.
So, yeah, Sitka, Brazilian rosewood. That is like my combination of choice. How about you, Mike? I mean, you deal with a lot of instruments and stuff, not just for bass, but just woods in general.
I would probably say out of all the standard ukuleles that I tend to deal with, there's one that kind of sticks out to me for a different reason. But in general, actually, solid mahogany.
For your bass or guitar?
For an ukulele.
Really?
Of all the ukuleles we have in the store, I actually like playing the solid mahogany ones the best. I kind of like a little bit. I find sometimes koa to be very that high edge, whereas mahogany kind of mellows that out a little bit. I kind of like that. My personal preference in tone is always going to be a much mellower one than a real
punchy.
Yeah, well, as a bass player, like for example, my ideal tone has always been James Jamerson of Motown.
Okay.
Flat wound strings and make it sound like a real punchy upright bass. And the opposite of the tone that I love, in as much as I love the guy, like say Victor Wooten. Victor Wooten has a tone that I would never really try and emulate on bass. It's so
poppy,
punchy, poppy, trebly, and mid-rangey that it really doesn't sit well to my ears. But of course, then he's doing all this crazy tapping, slapping stuff. So you kind of have to have a tone like that, otherwise your sound's gonna be just mush. So solid mahogany. The only exception to this is, since you mentioned them, Martin. I do like the solid koa Martin ukuleles.
Really?
I always have.
Well, the best ukulele that I've ever played in my life, best sounding, now not best uke, but best sounding ukulele that I've ever played in my life, and I think I've gone on record saying this. Solid mahogany Taylor ukulele.
Yeah. One year
the
they
NAMM
put
show.
Oh my
together,
god! I still have dreams about it. It was so good. Like you would play that thing, and like the whole uke would like vibrate. Like your body could feel that thing vibrate. It was so beautiful.
And unfortunately, they've never made another one.
Yeah, it was like a limited run.
Yeah.
It was part of a set. You had to buy the guitar and ukulele
it's like
together.
$15,000 for both the guitar and the ukulele.
Yeah.
So the ukulele.
But the ukulele was amazing.
Yeah, so
and
good.
it was like hand hewn by like Andy Powers, and like,
And Andy's just like, oh, you can go ahead and go play it. I was like, I'll try it out. Oh my god! oh my goodness!
I think it was extra surprising too, because the koa ukulele, it was okay, right? But it wasn't like when we played it, it's like, oh yeah, this is a koa ukulele.
Good.
Pretty good koa ukulele. But that one was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
I gotta try this. Oh my god! Like this is the best sounding ukulele I've ever. And I've played a lot of ukes in my life,
And just putting it out there, if any of you out there have one and want to sell it to her,
I want to give it. I mean, I probably couldn't afford that.
Because now it's probably worth way more than that.
More than $5,000,
Yeah.
So that's my unicorn.
If any of you didn't get him a present for his daughter's birthday,
it's my kid. It's not for me.
It's totally not for me.
Not for me.
He'd like to contribute to L's college fund.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we have any questions, Kahai? Hopefully, we. Aaron, do you have any preference?
The flute.
Yeah, pine top plastic wrapping signs.
Good answer. Good answer.
But I mean, when cause we were actually, I did a bunch of research into like I guess instrument making and stuff, because we were actually thinking about making an ukulele
Yeah.
way back when. Totally abandoned that idea, but like there is like a lot of research, and I mean like you could say for either way, but a lot of people say that the back and sides actually don't matter as much
No.
as long as they're rigid.
Yeah,
you know?
have you seen that
And
like that
your
paper
top-
mache guitar?
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they did?
and
yeah.
as long as your top is like solid and can resonate well, it'll give you whatever sound that the top has, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I it's not like tone isn't actually that important to me. I just like playing the ukulele. It's not.
How about
yeah.
you, Kahai? Do you have any tone wood preferences?
I
Because
still-
it's just preference, right? There's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's subjective, really.
Yeah, there's no
Still want Joe to make ebony top, spruce back and sides.
Spruce back and sides.
I'm trying to picture what that would even sound like.
Yeah.
It's like the
My
black
side.
hole of ukuleles, and it was, instead of projecting, it'll suck sound.
Sound in.
No, you know what and then you know what you got to do. So you got to make it the full thing. Have you know what Vanta Black is?
What is that?
That's the material, right? That just
It's like that paint that's so non-reflective it looks like a black hole.
Oh.
If you've never seen it, look it up. Vanta Black. It's so black, literally, that if you had a suit covered in it, it would look like a gaping hole in the world.
when they
I need to make a suit out of that.
when they first took pictures of it, people thought it was like Photoshop, like that they just
Oh,
cut
wow.
it out. That's how
Yeah.
like black it looks on like
Ah.
pictures.
It's pretty trippy. So you gotta have the top covered with Vanta Black, so it not only sucks all the sound in, it all sucks light in.
That I don't like. Somebody would be like, I don't understand. Like I can't hear anything, and like that person's just holding
and
this
all-
black
Yeah.
blob.
And it's all I see is you holding the neck.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we have another question?
We got questions in the chat.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
cool. Let's see those.
Hello, chat.
Hello.
Yeah, so there was
Hello,
one
chat.
earlier. For solo ukulele, what are some ways that you could change the sound of your ukulele for a call and response line, like other than playing the octave different than the other person?
I mean, you could use dynamics, as a kind of a call and response thing. Like if you if you don't want to be doing a lot of jumps, like you said, different octaves and stuff. But dynamics doesn't just mean like play it loud or soft and stuff, but also the way that you play it. Like what I like to do personally is I like to do palm mutes against regular like strum or picking. There's a big difference in sound between palm mute so like different characteristics of it as well, and you can do call and response doing that. It sounds like two different instruments really,
Yeah.
and when you do it. So that's one way that I would approach it. Another way is like like you said, coming up with with an octave to it. Another thing that you could do too is add harmony to it. So you could do or something like that. Like you can kind of do a call and response that way also.
Oh, just to clarify, like so the situation would be like you're jamming with somebody
Yeah.
else, and then you're kind of going back and forth trading solos. So that's like a call and
Yeah.
response.
So like I would be like that's like the most like
Yeah.
and then the response would be
Yeah.
response to
So
that.
so it actually is kind of like you're feeding off of what the other person is doing
Yeah.
too, right? And you're kind of adding to it, so it kind of builds that way. But
But if you if you want there to be a difference between the two different sounds and stuff, and if you're playing a solo, because you mentioned solo, so if you're playing a ukulele solo and you want there to be a call and response, those are some ways to kind of do it. So you can do like so that's like the harmony that I'm talking about. You can do so that's like the octave that I'm talking about. You can do That will be like the the response to it. And if you're doing palm mutes, so those are just easy ways you can do that. I'm sure there are others and stuff, but that's I think the most effective.
It's a little bit different, but I think you and Kyle actually we just had him over and he did the jam and you guys played body surfing, right?
Yeah.
And so you guys kind of do that, but then in his duos also he does the harmonies to what song is it? One of your songs.
Don Miguel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you listen to that, you can kind of the same idea, right? You hear what the person is playing and go oh, okay, I know these harmonies for that, so the response I can do is just the harmony part or whatever.
Yeah. All right. So any others? Lightning round.
There was another one. What's the most difficult solo ukulele song you know how to play, in your opinion?
In my opinion, honestly, difficult.
Baby Shark remix.
Difficult would be like Europa played to its full extent. If you're really adding adding the emotions and the dynamics and the the chordal the melody with the chord melody stuff in there that we do. I think that's one of the hardest songs that I can play right now. Just out of there's so much going on and there's so much control that you need for to in order to play that song, because a lot of people think hard means the fastest, most a shredding song that you can think of, but sometimes it's
the slow songs.
Yeah, the slow songs are tough, because everybody will hear every single mistake, or if a note isn't held long enough for for me, the phrase doesn't work. So it's you can play 5 million notes in one in one measure, and you could probably miss I don't know, 25% of it, and nobody would would know the difference. Right. But if you're playing 2 notes in that one measure, you better play those 2 notes. You better know those 2 notes correctly. Yeah. So it's kind of like that, and I think Europa definitely takes the cake. There's a lot going on in that song. If you've never seen us play Europa live, there's a video of us playing it in Cheltenham for the Ukulele Festival of Great Britain. I think that's one of the better takes that we that we did. There's also one in at one of our first tours in Berkeley when we were playing at Mike De Silva's. That's also another good version of Europa. But as far as technique and fast stuff, Senior Victor, I guess there's so much going on. There's a lot of different techniques that I have to come up with, in order to make that song the way it is. And there's a lot at that last part that it's a gymnastic thing that I have to do. This chord itself already is not easy to hold. But because it's basically an F minor with the F on the top. So you're doing one of these D minor chords, with the middle finger holding down 2 notes at the same time, or 2 strings at the same time. It's up here with the pinky finger there, and you have to keep the pinky finger, and then it's to move along with the chord as well. These 2 fingers change. This finger has to keep on that A string. So it's like a gymnastic thing. I don't know.
I think
That's my answer.
I think people too expect really simple and these songs are at this level and it's all divided nicely, right?
Yeah.
But it's really hard when you start just learning music in general. It's kind of just that one part of that song is kind of hard to play, but then the rest of the song is easy. So do you say that's the most difficult song ever, or I feel and it's you focus less on that too, right? And more just there's certain things that here and there.
Another song that was really tough was Turkish March. Turkish March is not an easy song to and if you don't have the proper technique to make sure that each note is separated, it's not gonna sound right. It's the difference would be you can't do that. You're not hearing all the notes. You have to separate it, so you can hear all the the different.
Yeah, you
notes.
Can't slur.
Yeah, you can't slur
because
exactly.
It's not meant to be slurred.
When you're playing on a piano, it's the march. You're not you know,
Like,
electric sliding. It's a march.
It's a march.
So that's another like difficult song in my arsenal. Like I never play it because
You don't want to
it's
mess it
hard.
up.
I don't want to mess it up. It's hard. Just straight up. Yeah.
Well, it's harder for you because you're playing a string instrument. The one advantage the piano has to doing that is the instant, no matter how you articulate going between keys,
Yeah.
it's
It's
still
gonna
two
be-
different
yeah,
keys.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
You have one string where a whole bunch of stuff's happening, so the piano has the advantage of having natural separation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whereas
Ukulele. Yeah. So
string instruments in general do not have that.
if we're talking just straight up hard, like that is just straight up hard. That's Turkish March.
I bet people too will hear like you say Europa and be like, oh, I know Europa.
I know.
I must be great. I mastered the most difficult song.
That's why I picked like the words that I use. I'm like Europa played correctly with
Or
with the
just-
most
Well, it's
phrasing.
Well,
you know?
I think there's two areas of difficulty generally when you're learning any song.
Mhm.
There's the technical half,
Yeah.
and then there's the musical half.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
we've all heard that guy who can rip through stuff,
Yeah.
but doesn't really have anything behind it.
Mm.
You know, they've got the technical part down, and the truth be told is most people will master that part first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because for a lot of people, the technical part of music is that sort of thing where it's kind of like there's a measurable thing. Like if you're playing Turkish rondo, Turkish march, you can kind of hear whether you're slurring or you're picking.
Yeah.
Okay, you could hear that. Someone could get through that at just basically one volume, blasting all the way through. Right, and then you'd be like, okay, that's cool. But then there's all the articulation of the notes, dynamics, your phrasing, and all that stuff is because it's more conceptual rather than like something that you can say, okay, if you can do this, then that you've achieved that. Like if someone says, strum me 16th notes at 120 beats a minute. That's a tech.
Measurable,
Yeah. You can either do it or you can't.
Yeah.
But if I say, play me the middle part of Fur Elise with emotion.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
who's to say that?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What's the criteria?
That was with emotion.
You know, and
like
and
this is me smiling.
It's pretty big smile.
that's good.
He's super happy.
Very beautiful.
Very
I
excited
was
for the
doing
last
it
dab.
with
So
emotion.
that's a part of it too.
Yeah,
That I find teaching kids, the harder part is to teach them how to be musical about stuff.
Yeah.
Kahai remembers this because there was a lot of times in band where it wasn't really the notes that I would always harp on. It would be the dynamics. You know how often I would talk about that? Because they were in a marching band. So, of course, the natural tendency is to just play as loud as you can and just go.
And he's playing trumpet too, so
Yeah.
I don't
Mariachi
think you ever made the John Cena sound, but you know, and speaking of which, he wasn't here to see, but do you remember Ken Nishimoto, Kai?
Yeah.
He said hi.
Okay. Cool.
He was
Said
Ken
hi.
Nishimoto was one of our band members back in the day, and he was here for a couple weeks.
All right, so let's do our songs. It is 1:30. Let's do our songs. I guess traditionally go first. So this what we're doing right now is we're showing you guys the songs that we wrote for the songwriting challenge. Now, what is a songwriting challenge? Here on Thursday Live Lesson, we give you guys a guideline to write a song with. So we challenge you to write a song. So this time, the only guideline that we had was you had to have A, D, and E. Okay, or
and only those.
And only those chords. Yeah, you can have
Pretty
just
much.
A or just D or just E or any 2 or 3 any combination of these 3 chords. You can have, but you can't go beyond A, D, and E. It's one of those like we were forcing people to keep it simple. Yeah. So and if you wanted, you can try out for some bonuses, which is writing a country song, writing a cowboy music or American folk song, disco, slacky, inversions. You can write lyrics. But the super bonus is to come up with a dance. To the song that you wrote.
to the song.
To the song that you wrote. Not like, you're playing electric slides. I spoke about it earlier. Slide and ukulele, and you're playing it, A, D, and E and stuff. So here is my song. My song is called Thwip Thwip Swing, and I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. And
Okay.
it's, so my song's called Thwip Thwip Swing, and the dance move looks like, because you have to, one of the guidelines, if you did a dance move, you have to show us a video of you doing the dance move. Okay.
For extra points.
So my dance move is Thwip Thwip Swing. Thwip Thwip Swing. Thwip Swing. Thwip Thwip Swing. Right?
Okay.
So I mean, if I stood up and did it, it looks way better than me sitting in this chair.
Just trust.
Just trust it. It looks great. It looks great. So it goes. Listen up, everybody. Let me show you a move. It's an 8-legged dance, an arachnid groove. Super easy to learn. It'll be the next big thing. Curl your fingers together for the Thwip Thwip Swing. You're gonna be swinging around just like a spider. Gonna swing those hips just like a top. You're rich or poor, you don't need no bling. Just curl your fingers for the Thwip Thwip Swing. Pretend you're shooting webs all around the room. Pretend you're cashing checks and the cashier's cute. Show her all your moves, maybe start a fling. Maybe do a tag team. Thwip Thwip Swing. 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 Hey! Thwip Thwip Swing. It's the next big thing, Mike. I'm gonna bust it out on the dance floor one of these days. If you guys ever come to a festival and someone's playing some danceable music, maybe perhaps the Denver Uke Fest, you know what move I'll be busting out. Thwip Thwip Swing.
Actually, for those of you coming to see it in Denver, I highly recommend you request that song.
Can you play Thwip Thwip Swing?
On stage. And if you can make that his encore.
Oh God, they're gonna request Europa or body surfing or man, what song are they gonna request?
Thwip Thwip Swing. All right, so that's
deep
mine.
cut.
Who wants to go next? So that was, by the way, that was A and D and E. I had like a riff, like between the verses, which would be a. So that's like the,
Nice.
like between the verses and stuff. There's like the riff that you dance. Dun, 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 dun. I was doing this all weekend at my house, and Heather's like, "What are you doing? It's so ridiculous." I'm like, "Hey,
I'm working. I'm working.
it's for work." All right, so let's go. Kahai or Aaron?
I want to go because I think Aaron's will be good. Mine is not.
So I go first.
Yeah. Let me see if this works. I have something set up.
Ooh.
I gotta. Yeah. Come on. Don't do this. No. Come on.
Oh.
Are we gonna get to see Kahai today?
Maybe.
Oh, nice.
If this works.
Yeah, he set up a
Hey!
just for himself.
Okay.
Here he is.
Look at that handsome guy.
That's
Almost.
He's over
Oh,
there.
yeah,
Look at
yeah.
him.
Okay.
That handsome guy. Oh, he's going
why.
acoustic today. Oh, snap.
And like, let me tune first.
Nice, it's a nice
It's a
guitar.
big uke.
Oh, your ukulele big, bro.
Bro.
You know what they call it? Super baritones. Yeah. So.
Hey, fancy.
Andy McKee over here.
I know, Andy
Nice.
Kai McKee.
So that was like a drop D, or what did you do?
So it's not. It's kind of not slacky. It's more open tuning because
It's drop Kahai.
Okay.
What did you?
D A E G sharp A E.
Oh.
So
So it's like your own slacky tuning kind of.
kind of.
Wait, what was it again?
D A E D A E, yeah, a G sharp A E. So like these two notes are like right next to each other too. Yeah. So.
Nice.
But it kind of makes that like A7 chord, right?
No, because you have a G sharp. So it's like an A minor major 7.
Oh, minor major 7.
So yeah.
Fancy schmizzy. So he went for these bonuses. He went for the slacky bonus. He slacked those dang keys. All right, so he's got that A D E. I heard the 1-4-5 in there. So good job, Kahai.
There's like this F sharp minor too, but I figure it can be like a A with the F sharp slash
A/F sharp.
It's an inversion. It's an inversion.
Right on.
Very good.
Very good, buddy. Very good.
Whoa, watch out.
All right. Eric.
All right.
What was that called, Kai?
I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
That's a cool name. I don't know.
Okay, so I went full country, but
Okay.
so like
Good day to come. I don't know.
so like the same kind of thing as like before, where like I was trying to write a country song because that was like the first, and especially that cowboy, like American folk. I was already thinking that like when you guys suggested it. And then I started writing, and I was like, I'm totally not a cowboy, so I can't really relate to this.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to think, and I was listening to a lot of Merle Haggard, listening to some just like that kind of style of country, and so I was thinking that like my girlfriend is way more country than I am, so like
You're a little bit rock and roll.
yeah. So like so my girlfriend is like born and raised on Kauai. She goes fishing a lot. She's taller than me, and she's like and she plays basketball, and I'm totally unskilled. I like sit in this office and I edit videos all day long while she's like making fishing poles and stuff like that.
But can she run 50 miles?
And so so this song is basically
Sorry,
about
you might be able to.
about that.
It's pretty athletic.
Yeah.
Aaron has set many personal bests just trying to keep up with that.
So so this is the song that I that came out basically when I was trying to write this up. And I really like the key of A, but I was thinking like I had to do the lower octave to make it country. So I might be
You put some
reaching,
twang in it?
might be reaching here. Yeah,
Okay,
I totally
nice,
will.
nice.
So kind of that like horse trotting, Well, my lady's the perfect country woman for a non-country man like me. Whether fishing or fighting or welcoming me right into her arms is where I know I'm meant to be. Well, she don't much like that old city life. Said the walking pace is much too hard to keep. So I got to slow it down, turn off the neon lights. Just by her candlelight's enough for me to see. Well, my lady's the perfect country woman for an uncountry man like me. Whether fishing or fighting or welcoming me right into her arms is where I know I'm meant to be. She got that touch. Her shots are pretty dang good. I ain't got no aim except my aim to please. She ain't too good with grammar, but I can always understand her. There's no one else with whom I'd rather be. Cause my lady's a perfect countrywoman for a non-countryman like me. Whether fishing or a fighting or welcoming me right into her arms is where I know I'm meant to be. In her arms is where I know I'm meant to be.
So good. Has Mikey heard that?
I kind of like sang her the lyrics, but yeah.
That's awesome, man.
And she was like, yeah, that's pretty spot on.
I could outfight you.
The best compliment I can think of is I wish that was on Hey Arnold.
Mr. Win.
Yeah.
The Asian country singer.
You have to sing in the shower, and then someday like somebody's gonna pass and be like, "Who is that angelic voice? We need to get him on the radio."
All right, on. So, if you guys want to try your hand at this challenge, so that is the challenge. We have one more week. Post your videos or your songs or audio samples or whatever over on the UU Plus forum, and we'll take all the songs that you guys submitted, and we'll pick a winner, and we'll give that winner something nice, something special. So that's what we usually just take one. Sometimes sometimes more. We give that a little something. Sometimes coffee. Sometimes some candy from Hawaii, whatever. But it's just all in good fun. So and I said if you do a super bonus in the dance, I had some old no longer printed CDs that I was gonna give away. I do have a limited amount of those and stuff. So I'm gonna say I have maybe 3 or 4 to give away, but I know there's one person that submitted something, right, Kahai? So yeah, that's one so far. That's gonna take claim. So I guess we'll just do it, as it's available and stuff. So, but just like that, I just want you guys to have fun, and we'll see what you guys come up with this week. Okay, so just put it on the appropriate thread over at the UU Plus forum. So ADE can either make it country like Aaron did, cowboy music, kind of like how you did. You can do disco if you want, slacky like what Kahai did. You can add inversions and lyrics like I and Aaron did. We can add a super bonus, which is a dance, just like how I did. Yeah, I'm gonna bust out my dance and get Rob's Good Times Grill with all these, all these 40 somethings. Like, oh hey, come here.
So I've said this before. How many of you would actually pay for a download album with all these songs on it? I would.
We would have to record them, actually record.
Yeah.
Hey. We have produced a possible Hoko winner
in
this room. It's doable.
Possibly have recorded.
I said possibly, but
possibly.
I don't think we should re-record them. I think we should just grab the audio from the podcast. So it's all the time. It's oh wait, my computer didn't work. Okay,
All right, so I'm excited. So I'm very excited. We have the last 11 minutes.
Should I grab the other table that looks like this outside?
Oh no, you can just put this down. You can put it over. So here are the hot sauces that we have. First off, we have smoked habanero pepper sauce by
Can we do a close up of that?
Yeah, Marie Sharps. And then we have adobo loco hamajang, which is a Chiavis smoked ghost pepper. So that's the second sauce. It's already ghost pepper. Third sauce, adobo loco again, Maui no Kaoe, Trinidad Maruga scorpion.
This is yours, right?
Yes, these two are mine.
So I should point out, Aldrine is a hot sauce head. Look how much there is not left in this bottle.
Maruga scorpion.
I'm surprised he doesn't IV this.
So, and last but not least, Pepper X, Hot Ones, The Last Dab Redux. So.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Hot Ones. This is Sean Evans.
Yeah, welcome.
Hotter questions and even hotter wings.
So we have these chopsticks, and we have one stick per hot sauce. So I'm gonna do this, and we also have popcorn chicken from the
Kahai fan club.
From the Kahai fan club. Kahai fan club. we're gonna put it here.
Actually, I had a thought.
What's
Do we have plates? Like paper plates?
Yeah.
Because I figured we could just put a plate and put the 4 hot sauces in each corner.
And dip
And
them.
just dip it?
Oh,
Oh, that is you.
oh goodness.
No, I'm gonna dip my stick in there. Stick in there.
Oh, okay.
But then
Okay,
it's safer than
hold
if we
down
try
the
that.
fork.
Yeah. So, all right. So these guys are gonna get a plate. But yeah, I'm very excited. I love hot sauces, but I didn't want to be overconfident going into this challenge because I've heard some like horror stories about this last one. Aaron has tried it already. He has last dabbed.
I have tried it with air quotes because yeah, I put like a very tiny bit on my Subway sandwich, and it was
Yeah.
it was
So,
enough
we also have,
for me to not want to try it after that.
Just to combat the the spiciness,
Oh yeah.
we have spam musubis. Just if you gotta keep
Soak-
chewing on
soak
something,
up some of
soak it
that.
up. So we have that, and here's one for you. Here's one for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I want one for everybody. All right,
Can't.
And
and we have Malona ice cream. Just,
We need,
just in
need
case.
some ice cream just in case.
Yeah, all right, we have some Malona
let's
ice cream.
choose which one.
So let's
okay.
go.
2 strawberries and
I'm
2
just
melons.
whichever. I have 4 melons in the
Okay.
in the fridge.
Oh,
So-
I don't know either.
So this is just for fun.
Thank you.
Goodness.
Fine. Whatever.
Okay, wait, put it in order.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit more of that.
Full disclosure, I am not a hot sauce guy.
I think
But I kept
I
bringing
think we
him
can
hot
dip.
sauces.
I think we can dip most of them, right? We don't need the
Yeah, we don't need this.
chopsticks, right?
I think just for the last dab.
Just for the last
Just
one.
for the last dab.
Yeah, actually, that's what we should do. We should just dunk the chicken nuggets in those, and then at the end we'll just use the tip of the chopstick for this 4.
Ooh, it smells great in here.
I think Aldrine is the only hot sauce fan. I think the rest of us.
Everybody else is not really a hot sauce fan, but
Why'd you have to shake it?
Because that's what they do on
very
the show.
yeah.
Oh Jesus! Ladies and gentlemen, it's a paste. It's not even a sauce.
I got
It's
it.
a paste.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
Oh, yeah.
Like, from your experience, Aaron, is that enough?
Yeah. I mean, like that much is
Is bomb.
is
Okay.
enough
All right. So
My nose
put it
hairs are
down.
burning
per
at this
person.
point.
Okay.
Can we
so-
see it? Like, can it?
Oh, here. So this is
Careful not to mix them.
Oh,
Oh,
Very close.
watch out! Watch out!
Oh.
It's-
uh,
yeah, maybe not.
maybe not. So we have all 4 sauces in here.
Okay.
I don't want to mix the maruga and the ghost pepper. All right. So who wants to go first? It's the first one.
We'll
Let's
just
get
do the first
Yeah,
one.
let's
Okay,
do the
let's
first
do
one.
the first one.
So first one shouldn't be too bad.
What is that? Habanero?
Mm-hmm. Very good. Go ahead.
Can you grab me one? Just grab.
Sorry for the audio podcast listeners.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually has a kick.
That's nice. It tastes good. All right.
I'm scared already.
Next one.
There's a burn, but it's not too bad.
Okay.
Ghost pepper.
Next one is ghost pepper. Okay. Just a little. Get one for Kahai.
Mm.
Ghost pepper. Aren't we supposed to be getting questions per?
Oh yeah.
I can't.
So
I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can run the stream and do this at the same time.
okay.
Okay. Actually, can we answer? There was one that I got.
Some napkins if you guys want napkins.
Someone messaged me specifically.
Thank you.
It was actually a question about have you ever used a wireless system for your ukulele?
I have.
And
They're not-
would you recommend getting one, or what it was like?
They sound okay, but I just don't like carrying stuff on me. Like whenever I go on stage because of course it's wireless, but it still has to plug in somewhere. A lot of people put their packs, the wireless pack that it comes with, they put it on their strap, and sometimes the way that I did when I use one, I put it on my pants, like, or my belt and stuff, and I just don't really like being connected to something. So if you guys don't mind that, go ahead. I mean, it's good. All right, Maruga Scorpion.
Okay, so that's this one right here.
Yeah, so I'm on the third one.
My mouth is watering and not in the good way. It's just like, I think it's trying to put out the heat through.
I feel it in the, just wherever it touches my tongue.
Okay. Oh, you okay? All right. One.
This is
it.
But that last one was like my favorite flavor.
Yeah,
So,
it's good.
yeah.
It was more vinegary, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man.
The last dab. It's hot. It's getting hot here. Okay.
There.
Oh god. You first.
That was a good flavor to it. It's not bad, actually.
Not
Yeah,
bad?
It's not bad.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. I think I would put more.
You would put more?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
Mike.
I'll do it again.
You gotta see
I'll do
Mike's
it again.
face.
I'll do it again. I'll do it
I'm
again.
sweating already.
I'll do it again, buddy.
Sweating now.
Cheers, man.
You get
I'll
one
dab
for-
it on like how they do in the show.
Oh my god.
Oh.
You get one for
Now,
Kahai?
like now that I here's one for you, buddy.
Just.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's enough.
Now I guess I can just take the rest of that, right? Oh, it's building. It's in my
Yeah,
throat now.
but
Now
it
take
has
another
a
one.
good flavor to
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
it's just
Whew.
are you reconsidering your second?
No.
Don't touch
Actually,
your eyes,
it's more-
Kahai.
It's really good. So
Don't touch your eyes.
It's
Oh,
my
it's
right hand. Right hand.
Oh.
yeah, it's in the back of my throat now. Like that's where it's like kind of going.
Uh-huh.
But it's good. Like it tastes
I-
really good.
I know we tried to keep the show like PG, PG-13, but some stuff might come out pretty
You're
soon.
already on the verge of.
Wow.
Oh yeah, so
Okay.
so in response to that question,
that one had so but a little bit much. That's good. Still good. I'm good.
Aaron, I like how you're still trying. I'm done.
yeah.
How are you?
But yeah, so in
Melona?
response to that question, I also like kind of mentioned that there are some things that could definitely go wrong with your wireless system that you'd have to worry
That's
about
true,
that
yeah.
you don't have to worry about with a plug-in.
Yeah.
And the way that we set up, it's like super really simple. When we
Yeah.
go to a gig, we just ask them for 2 mics, 2 DIs. You bring your DI.
Yeah. And
We
you
just
plug
plug
it to
straight
theirs,
in,
yeah.
and then that's it. And that's like, there's pretty much zero complications. Your cable is probably never gonna fail until you've used it for years, and then
Yeah.
it'll kind of deteriorate a little bit. But by then you'll have recouped the cost of your cable.
I mean, considering like cables can start at like $16 or something, 15
Yeah,
bucks,
yeah.
$10 even.
So like $30 for like a solid, really good cable, you should be totally fine. Whereas a good a solid wireless system is probably in the $300 range, and then can only go up from there. And so like you're paying more. You're also worrying about dropout or like making sure that you have batteries for it, and
Yeah.
all of that stuff is just unless you are jumping off the stage or like doing acrobatics.
Yeah, like front flips and stuff.
Or interacting with the audience, going,
Unless you Butch, what was his name? Butch Walker.
There was Jake's first DVD, Play Loud Ukulele. He was there's a clip where he was playing in Japan and he did like a backflip or something on stage.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I think he was wearing a wireless system.
Yeah.
But he did like a backflip on stage. I was
So I mean, if that's part of your show,
Yeah.
then you probably need
Wanna
a
do a
wireless.
wireless. Mm.
But I mean, if not, then why would you chance because your wireless system has to have like
better
you have to
now.
set the frequency for the
Well, now here's something interesting about wireless systems to consider.
Mhm.
that the FCC.
I kind of want some more.
Go for it. Go.
I told you, Aldrine's nuts. The rest of us normal people are over here cooling
Yeah,
over. Eat your Melona,
it's
dude.
like
really good.
The flavor is like really good.
Alright, that's
not NGL. Not gonna lie,
I'm,
pretty good.
I'll eat this.
What?
The flavor is really good. The flavor of my Melona is really good.
Cooling off the
Enjoying it a
hot
lot.
of the hot one sauce.
I
Yeah.
gotta buy myself a bottle of this.
Yeah.
Sorry for telling Michael.
I almost ate the whole bar and I can still feel
And
it
you
on
still
the
feel
tip
the-
of my
the
tongue.
heat?
I
Yeah.
do too. It's right there.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Anyway.
No water, no milk.
Oh yeah. So
No sense.
wireless
Okay.
systems.
So what? So what the heck is the thing about concern about wireless systems? That it hasn't happened that often, but it's been enough years since the last time it happened where it could happen again soon. Which is,
What is that?
That wireless systems operate on specific frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it 700 hertz, 800 hertz, whatever.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't realize is that the FCC controls what goes where, what frequency bands.
Uh-huh.
So about 7 years ago,
Mhm.
they actually moved wireless carriers, meaning like cell phones, into a range that had previously been put aside for. Oh my god!
It's so hot.
Call me back for a fourth one.
Jeez Louise.
I thought you were gonna put on your musubi. I'm like,
He is
I
gonna
am.
put
That's
it
what I'm
on
about to do.
nah.
He's just gonna smear it all over.
It tastes good. Why not?
So okay. So anyway, your eyes are getting red. By the way, what happened was they moved cell phone area into previously what was microphones, wireless microphone area.
Oh, really? Like the frequency.
So
for-
yeah,
for
so
cell
whatever
phone
I think it's
signals?
below 600 hertz or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But what that meant was the reason I know this is because when I first started working at the store, we had a rental wireless Shure microphone that was a pretty old one. It was about 2-3, maybe a year old when I started working there.
Uh-huh.
And then they moved it over. And we used it for maybe another year or so as cell phones kind of dipped down into that area. But the last time we used it, basically what happened was they took it out on a rental, and as they were talking, people's cell phones were going off, and as soon as like some people answered their phone, and it came through the
Really?
speaker.
What? That's
Huh.
amazing.
So
I
it
guess-
just
yeah, I guess
it
that-
just happened to
Is that
coincide.
frequency?
So all of a sudden you could hear their conversation over the loudspeaker.
Oh, wow.
So
we actually ran like a wireless mic for you for a little bit.
Yeah, when we were filming for
Yeah.
our cameras.
And the same thing too. What we had to worry about, right? Like, or we would be like, "Oh, how's your battery? Make sure you turn it off, like when you're not using it, because we want to save battery." But then, like even that too, like I know there's a couple times where I'm like, "Is your phone in the same pocket as your mic pack?" Because it's picking up
Some kind of sound.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
noise.
and that's kind of what happens if the frequency is even in the same vicinity.
Yeah.
There's still a chance it might cross over. So now, actually, if you find, so like if you're going on eBay and looking at wireless systems, either instrumental or microphones, you got to see what frequency it runs at, because now, I forget what it is, I think it's 600 megahertz. But any wireless system that runs at under 600 is actually illegal for sale in the United States.
Oh, they don't sell them anymore.
Yeah, even used ones, they'll tell you you can't have it. Because it would interfere with. It
And
basically
then-
would interfere with cell phones.
And then that would be totally up to the FCC if they want to move it again.
Exactly.
So-
which is why I'm saying one thing about that is now it's been about 5 years since they moved the frequencies.
Uh-huh.
So who knows? Who knows when they'll want to do that again? Cell phones are nothing but expanding in the United
Yeah.
States.
Yeah.
And obviously, cell phones are going to get a much higher priority than
Yeah.
wireless instrument systems.
Yeah.
So one thing to be mindful of is that, if you buy them, either buy one with a crazy wide frequency range, or I think just as high as you can get.
Yeah.
because that'll be the furthest away from commercial stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
and then that was kind of another thing too, is if you're gonna play like a big venue, usually the sound team has like a wireless thing that they're talking to each other from, you know,
right.
and you have to make sure that you're not on their frequency.
Or their channel.
And then
Yeah.
also like when we were at NAM too, right? Like if
Are
other people are running
Really?
around with cameras and they had,
we like picking up some of their stuff too?
yeah, we just had
Before-
to make sure it wasn't
Ah.
crossing.
Yeah, before the show, when we went in the morning to set up, we would do like our packs. Luckily, would scan the whole scan what frequency was available,
Yeah.
and then we would set it to that.
Set it,
but
yeah.
even then, too, we would be running around too, and you just catch something, right? You
Somebody
hear,
else's,
yeah, or like if there's just electronics too, you catch like magnetic waves
Yeah.
and whatever. So,
So people are probably wondering like how much do those things run? Because you know, like we're talking about right now, but if for those people who are interested in picking one up, Mr. Store Guy.
I mean, you can get wireless systems down to about maybe like $100 is
Yeah.
probably about where they start.
Mhm.
And that comes with like the
usually that would just come with like
receiver.
the receiver and the transmitter pack.
Yeah.
Now keep in mind, if you buy $100 one, you're getting what you pay for.
Ah.
It's not going to be the greatest sound quality, and the chances that you're going to get frequency interference is a lot more. The frequency range it'll work in is real limited.
Yeah.
So the chance that, I would probably say the place you want to start is probably somewhere between $175 and $200.
Mhm.
I sell the AKG wireless systems, the mini 40s, at the store I work at, and those are pretty good. They
Okay.
don't really pick up interference. The batteries do last quite a bit of time. in it.
rechargeable or still like
You can use rechargeables or you can use regular alkalines. It doesn't really matter. It'll work either way. There are a couple new ones I've seen that I haven't had a chance to test. I think Boss or Cord came out with one where the transmitter was in the plug itself.
Oh wow.
I don't know if you guys saw that. It was
No.
pretty cool. So it's got a little. The receiver's only about this big, and that hooks in the thing. But it's also the charger for the wireless unit. So you plug that in at night, and you put the transmitter on it, and it just charges it up. And then you pull it off, and you click, and the 1/4-inch jack comes out, and you just plug it right into your
Oh, that's
instrument,
cool.
and it goes from there.
cool. And how much is that, right?
Like $200.
That's not bad.
Not
That's
crazy.
bad. Yeah.
You also got to be careful about like what it's used for too, right? Because there's wireless microphone like sets. So if you just look up wireless whatever, like a microphone might come up instead. If you want to plug in your uke, you need a 1/4-inch or 1/4
Right.
inch
Oh,
or
okay.
a
Yeah.
1/8 inch.
Most company. Okay, so like, again, I'll just go with the company that I work with. So AKJ makes 3 different ones. At about that $175 level, you can either get a wireless instrument set, which is the transmitter and the pack that you plug 1/4-inch into, or you can get the vocal set, which is the receiver and one mic with the transmitter built into the microphone. Or for like about $220, you can get a dual set, which means you actually get a transmitter pack for an instrument and a microphone, and then the receiver. That's where the extra cost goes. The receiver is dual channel, so you can use the mic and the transmitter. So if you were like a solo act, that's a good one to do because all you need to do is the one receiver. Your microphone and your instrument will go to the same receiver.
Like just looking online, like or when we were using a wireless system, and like I was looking online. Yeah, some people like will buy wireless microphone system, and then they're like, oh, I can't use my own microphone because it uses like a proprietary connection. Like our old Sennheisers, they don't use exactly a 8-inch jack. They use like their own like tiny small one,
Like
whatever.
a 16th inch.
Yeah, or something weird like yeah, where you have to buy Sennheiser microphones to use with that wireless pack. Yeah. So just something to be cautious of if you're looking at it. Make sure you're buying it.
The thing is, most times if you're buying a wireless system from a microphone, most companies now are not going to give you like a transmitter to plug into the bottom of a microphone like this. They're gonna
XLR.
You're just gonna buy a microphone with a transmitter built in.
Yeah. All right, so with that said, thank you guys so much for all of your questions. Thank you for watching us, all of you U Plus subscribers. We had fun today. We had lunch in front of the cameras, like mukbangs, hot ones challenge, spicy challenge, which is really good. I really like that sauce. Really I gotta go buy myself a bottle of that. Like I would just put that stuff on everything. Like that's great. That's a great sauce. I was very scared of coming in, but thank you guys so much for watching. For all of our audio listeners, thank you so much for downloading this podcast. Check out ukulelenunderground.com. Sign up for UU Plus to take your ukulele playing to the next level, and you guys can check out the video podcast as well if you guys sign up for UU Plus. We have a bunch of we have a bunch of other stuff in there too, like private lessons, one-on-one coaching, improvement systems, and many more. So please check out ukulelenunderground.com and sign up for UU Plus. Aldrine, Kahai, Aaron, Magic, Mike. We'll see you guys later. Aloha.